Bro, let me. I'm gonna talk about. This is probably more of a business thing. So when I met you, you signed Addison Lee, and I remember when it got signed, the money you got. Did you? Were you happy with it? Or was it because obviously you're young, bro?
What? 50 bags. I was thinking. I was 18. I had
18 called Madison. I tell her come and jump in Madison Lee. What are you saying, guys? We got one from Notes and Amaru Don. It's talking about dealing with trust issues, him getting signed for 50K when it came to Addison Lee, the single, and other things as well. Now, Notes, as we know or may not know, was one of the biggest artists when he came into the scene. Let's be real. Like, he owned that year or two that he was at the top. Do you get what I'm saying? So it'll be very, very interesting to understand his perspective and very interesting to understand how he dealt with the sudden fame as well that he actually had. Let's get into it.
The contrast is Sweet Boy, like Gallus. There's something else that's going on that don't always reflect in them. Not saying you have to be a bad boy. I'm not even condoning anything.
Yeah.
I'm saying the musical offering wouldn't speak to having a bit of a short fuse, if that makes sense. Is that conscious that you don't put that into the music?
Yeah. I prefer I like the clean look. Like, I like being clean. Like, who doesn't like being clean? You know what I mean? Like I'm not like a killer. I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out there trying to do anything crazy. I just protect myself and mine. You know what I mean? Like, my people and whatever the case is. So, like, but yeah, I like being clean. Like, I prefer to be clean. Like, there's not why push out an image that it's like, oh yeah, like, I don't know. Just because I've been in stuff or been around stuff, that doesn't mean that man has to push that out and portray that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to come away from that.
Got it, yeah.
Like, when I moved out of the ends, like, that's me coming away from that. Or away from that.
Now, I literally just did a video talking about black men's mental health and obviously Gucci Mane talking about it. And maybe it's because off the back of that video, but like seeing Notes and seeing the way like he's like kind of communicating here, I don't know him personally, but I'll definitely say for the people around him and the people that are close to his circle should definitely be checking in on his mental health, especially because it's something that is a topic that we need to definitely discuss. Do you know what I mean? Because naturally, because I studied Notes' career, like, do you know what I mean? When he was one of the people that inspired me when it came to making beats and then seeing like what Remedy was doing, his producer, by the way, was doing with his production and things like that. So I remember seeing how he was communicating back then. And obviously I haven't really checked in for Notes for a very, very long period of time. So to see the transition from back then to obviously now, naturally people get older, they get a bit more calm, but something is telling me like he definitely needs to, I don't know, man, to have people checking in on him, and people in the circle need to definitely look after people like this. You know what I mean? Not saying he's depressed, not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that it's just something that I'm observing as, you know, I could confidently say actually a Notes fan. You know what I mean?
The ends or away from seeing that in my view, like, my vision. I want something else in my vision. Like, my vision is something else. You know what I mean? The painting that man painted for myself in my mind is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to build my own promised land. Like,
I hear it, bro.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro, let me. I'm gonna talk about, and I think this is probably more of a business thing. So when I met you, you signed Addison Lee, and I remember when it got signed, the money you got. Were you happy with it, or was it because obviously you're young, bro?
what? 50 bags. I was thinking, I was 18. I had situations going on at the time where I didn't know what was actually going to happen for me. Because, like, the Notes thing was happening, which was, like, amazing and stuff. But then, like, there was certain situations that occurred before, or a situation that occurred before the Notes thing that made it like, I don't know, like made it a thing where I didn't know what was gonna happen with my life. It was like a turning point. Like, am I going this direction, or am I actually gonna become something in life? You know what I'm saying? And
So, bro, what was that direction gonna look like?
so like I got arrested for something.
Okay.
And from there, it was like I got found guilty for it as well, and it was like 3 different counts. So then it was like I didn't know whether or not, like, it was my first ever thing in it, like, in terms of the Jakes and whatever the case is. So I didn't know whether or not that would keep me in that bubble. You know what I'm saying? And like, if that would lead me down to that route and I'll just be stuck there, or.
And naturally, like, if we all knew what the future held, then obviously we would all be maneuvering different in the present. Do you know what I mean? So I need to actually, I always want to record a phrase here, but I actually need to figure out what the phrase is. But I think it's like hindsight is better than mindset or something like that. But basically saying that, like, if we could look in the future, naturally wouldn't be as anxious, as depressed or right now in the present. Now, at 18, 50K is a lot for 50K is a lot for anyone. Do you get what I'm saying? So 50K is a lot, especially as an 18-year-old. And naturally, I'm presuming he's thinking that at that point, like, look, I got to take this opportunity now, or we don't really know what the future basically holds. You know what I mean? And naturally, as he went into the label system, I presume obviously he made way more money and did this and did that. And also it was at a point in time where labels were just buying into the whole idea of, you know, Afro swing, etc. Like, I think shortly after we had like Rams with Barking as well. I don't know how much he got signed for and how much the single got signed for, but that went platinum. Like, I know the producer that did Barking, for example, shout out Okiki. Now, in regards to that, on the other hand, looking back at it, that on the label's part, like, that's a still. Do you know what I mean? Because that song was massive. They literally threw 50 bags at him, and I can only imagine how much they made on that single. But like I said, a lot of us didn't know that, you know, Afro swing would have been that big. A lot of us didn't know that drill would have been as big. And also, as the scene was evolving, you know, it was one of those ones where I don't believe enough information was being spread, and a lot of people were helping each other out in order to push the scene. I think what was happening as an outsider looking in, and obviously as an aspiring producer, just looking at what everyone was basically doing when things were at, you know, its peak, right? What was happening instead was that it's almost as though people were gatekeeping information. They were gatekeeping the fact that, look, this is how much you can make on this deal. This is what you could do here. This is what you could do here. And that's the reason as to why we haven't seen longevity when it comes to black urban music. You feel what I'm saying? So, very, very interesting, man.
Like, I would actually become something in life, you know what I mean? And when that started happening, of like signing and like labels and all of the stuff that I was studying before in sixth form, you know what I mean? Before like I got kicked out and whatnot, like, it's actually coming to fruition. Like, it made me like, so I don't know, like, as happy as I was, it made me kind of scared because I didn't want to lose it.
Well, what were you studying?
So for my first year, I was studying government and politics, business studies, music and drama.
Okay, I see it now, yeah.
And then my second year, I went on to do double music and drama. And then I got kicked out.
So I get it now, bro. So kicked out, then arrested. Did you get arrested after that?
Yeah, just after getting kicked out.
That means you got an option now for that year.
Yeah. So maybe like 3 to 6 months. No, it was like 2 to 3 months after getting kicked out, I got arrested for having the same thingy on me and like some other shit. But it was like, once again, it's so stupid, and it's not like something I ever wanted to glamorize, because I didn't want I never want that kind of imagery to ruin like that goodness and that joy and that happiness that everything else was bringing. You know what I'm saying? So.
And I remember back then, everyone was like, "Oh, Not3s is like the perfect lover boy kind of image," and they're like, all the girls are reposting, all the girls are doing the whole Snapchat spectacle. Bro, it's crazy. Like, this sort of, bro, Not3s is run. I remember because his first EP, I used to bang that. I think I must have been, if I'm not, it was his first or second EP. I can't remember, but I must have been in NCS. And I remember when he dropped that on my day, I felt like the man. I can't lie. Like I was moving to things and that. I was saying like, yo, listen, the YN days, yeah, no one can ever take that away from anyone. You know what I'm saying? But in saying that, I definitely believe that obviously the whole drama with him and his missus, or him and his baby mum actually, or the mother of his kids. Let's not push the whole baby mum thing, but the mother of his kids, it destroyed him, man. It destroyed him because no one had ever seen him and his personal branding to be in that type of light. You feel me? So in saying that, I saw you have to be very, very careful about your personal brand and your whole image and about the decisions you make in life as well, because Notes was, I believe, around that time as well, he had literally just finished with his whole second EP release. Then he did, I think, Wanting, which was like that tune that was it was in JD. You know what I mean? It was in JD. It was in all them type of stores and all over the radio as well back then. So I thought as if though they were literally just trying to break him out into becoming a commercial artist. Similar trajectory to what Young Bane basically did. Because in my opinion, Young Bane as well, Young Bane would have been the biggest artist to come out of the urban scene at that point, in my personal opinion. Because name an artist that was able to make hits just for fun, could brand. Like, remember when the Young Bane first came out and he did the whole Rocco Barocco and this is, oh my days, forget it. Then all of a sudden, he then transitioned into the Afro thing. Then he starts showing us that he can do trap again. Then, do you not like Young Bane's versatility? Ridiculous and unprecedented. But unfortunately, I feel like he got caught up in wanting to still keep the bad boy image rather than actually pursuing where he needed to go, in terms of commercializing. But similar thing happened with Notes as well. Notes, I feel as if when he was literally just about to break, then the whole issue with like his the mother of his kid basically happened, and it ruined a lot of things for him because public perception is everything. So my people there, let me know down in the comments what you believe, if you enjoyed this video, if you disagree or agree with anything I've said, and also make sure to share it with a friend. We're looking to grow the platform as soon as possible. Also subscribe because we upload daily on this channel, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.